Hello everyone, today I'm making some Halloween hair bows in this ribbon and glitter fabric style. On this one I used my handmade witch clay. I have done a tutorial on the handmade clay. If you are interested in clay tutorials, save this video now to watch later, and I'll pop a link for the tutorial for this witch clay in this top corner here now. And in this tutorial I'm going to be making the same style hair bow, but I'm going to be using my handmade sugar skull clay. Again, I have done a tutorial for this clay as well, and I will pop that also in the corner here if you're interested in clay tutorials. So let's get started on the bow. I've got 3 pieces of ribbon cut. These 2 pieces here are 1 inch wide ribbon or 2.5 centimeters wide. And both pieces are cut to 20 centimeters in length or just under 8 inches in length, and that is the 2 pieces. And then we've got one piece here which is 1 centimeter in length or just under ½ inch, and this is cut to 31 centimeters in length or around 12¼ inches in length, and that is one piece. I've also got a sheet of orange chunky glitter to use in my bow. So as you can see on this one, I used a purple glitter and I paired it with this witch ribbon here and this spider web ribbon here, and obviously with the clay having the purple tones I went for a purple glitter, but I thought with my sugar skull clay, because she's got a little bit of orange in her face, I thought that I would use the orange to bring those colours out. And with my glitter I'm going to be using these bow templates. These are called the cluster templates. I got these from Bow Templates UK. Everything that I've used, the templates, the ribbon, the glitter, I will link everything in the description below if you'd like to check these products out. So taking these 2 templates here, I'm going to draw around them on the back of my orange glitter fabric. So these cluster templates, the tails are 3.5 inch across or around 9 centimeters across, and the loops, they are a medium size loop from the cluster templates, and they are 4.5 inch wide or 11.5 centimeters wide. Obviously that's not the finish of the bow because obviously this will fold under, so it is smaller than that when it's made up, as you can see on this bow. I used the same on this purple piece here. So drawing around these on the back of my fabric, the tails, I did lengthen them slightly. I'm going to draw around them this way. I'll do it this side. So I'm drawing round this halfway. So as far as here, and then I'm going to slide this down, leaving around 1/2 centimetre, making sure it's in line. And then I'm going to continue drawing around it. That is just to extend my tails a little bit because of the size of the finished ribbon bow. So these tails will then fit underneath my ribbon and they will still slightly show on the outside. So that is why I do that. And you want 2 of these, so I'll do the same again. And now I'm going to draw around my loops in that last little gap. And then I'm going to cut these out. Now when it comes to cutting these out, I cut slightly inside of the pen line so that they don't show on the finished bow. So I'll just show you a little bit of that. I won't cut it all out, so I don't want to bore you. So as you can see, on the actual bow piece I'll be using, there's no pen line because I've just cut that off. So I'm going to cut all of these out now. So I've got these 3 glitter pieces cut out now. I'm going to set these pieces aside, and also this 1 centimetre wide piece of ribbon, that can also be set aside. We're going to start off with these 2 pieces, again, which are 1 inch wide or 2.5 centimetres by 20 centimetres in length. And I'm going to grab a couple of fabric clips. I'm going to take 4. You can use hair clips if you don't have fabric clips. Again, I will link these in the description below because they are really handy to have if you are making ribbon bows quite often. Next, we're going to heat seal the ends of the ribbon. You need to do that on all of your ribbon every time because that will just prevent any fraying and also get rid of any little frays like on this piece here. I just use the blue part of the flame because that's the coolest part of the flame and just run them quickly along the lengths of the ribbon. Picking up one of our pieces, you want to fold it in half to find the centre. You can again use a little bit of heat from your lighter to help mark a crease in there, like that. And then we're going to fold both sides in and overlap that centre. So we're overlapping these two pieces of ribbon by around 1 centimetre, and the crease is directly in the middle. And once you're happy that it is all in line and straight and even, pop a fabric clip or a hair clip on there to hold that in place. We're going to do the same now with the second piece, bearing in mind if you've got a ribbon which needs to go a certain way up, you will have to just make sure they're both facing the correct way. So again, just using a little bit of heat from my lighter. And then overlapping that centre in the same way as I did before. I can't see the crease now, hang on. There it is, that's hard because it's on the line of the pattern. So I'm overlapping the ribbon again by 1 centimetre and making sure that that crease is in the middle where they overlap, grabbing another fabric clip to hold those in place, and then I'm just going to make sure that they are the same, like that, which they are the same length, and then you're going to overlap one over the other. I'm just going to turn this around so the clip's not in the way. Now this is where you want to make sure your patterned ribbon is the right way up. So as you can see, this patterned ribbon is both facing this side, so the bottom of the pattern is towards the left. So you'd want your pattern ribbon, the bottom, to be facing towards the left. So I'm going to overlap this piece over around halfway. And then using these other two clips, I'm going to clip those on either end to hold those together like that. And then I've got a needle here threaded with some strong thread, and I've popped a knot in the end, and we're going to stitch across this middle. We're going to do 6 stitches, 4 along this top layer and then 2 more on the next layer. So I'm keeping these sort of all pinched together with my thumb and fingers so I can remove those clips out of the way. I'm going to go in for my first stitch through the top. So that's number 1, 2. Again, I'm using this crease as a guide. I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but I can just about see it. 3, 4. I'm just making sure that I'm catching the layers underneath, and then 2 more in that last underlapped piece here. So that's 5 and 6. So they look like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can now remove the remaining clips. I'm just going to move those aside. And then we're going to pull this tight now to form the pinch. And then wrap the centre a couple of times to hold it in place. making sure it's in the middle still before I seal it off. I'm just going to catch this edge and then go through this loose loop to form a knot. I'm just going to do that once more to make sure. So go through the edge, through that loose loop to form a knot, and then you can cut off the excess thread. So that is the first part done like that. Next we're going to take our 1 centimetre wide ribbon, which is cut to 31 centimetres. Again, heat seal those edges. And then we're going to make a little tails down bow with this. And then you want to fold it in half to find the centre. Again, I'm just going to use a little bit of heat from the lighter. And then I'm laying it down, pattern facing away from me. I'm going to bring this side round and cross it over the middle to make this loop. And then I'm going to do the same with the other side. So bringing it round to make another loop. I'm just making sure that these tails look even and these loops look even. And I'm just going to measure it against my bottom loops. So I can pull these a little bit smaller. So pull the tails to make the loops a little bit smaller. Again, making sure they're even. So yeah, about like that. So this is what they look like. So grabbing a needle and thread with a knot in the end. We're going to just sew 2 stitches in the middle of this little bow. So 1 and 2, and that will just keep that in place. So just give it a little pull, wrap it around the centre, and again just catching a little bit of the edge of the centre of the ribbon. Go through the loose loop and that will form a knot to hold that in place. So you've got this little bow here. You can either make the tails into spikes or you can just cut them diagonally. I like to make mine in spikes as they're Halloween bows. So I'm just going to fold it in half lengthways, and from this open edge from the corners cut down diagonally, open up the ribbon so it's not touching, and just heat seal both sides together like that. I'm going to repeat that on the other side, so folding it in half the lengthways, cutting down diagonally, opening it up so it's not touching, and heat sealing both sides. So it's like this. So now we have all of our bow pieces ready, and now we can put the bow together. So first of all, taking the 2 ribbon pieces, we're going to layer this piece on top of this bow here. So I'm just going to pop some hot glue in that centre. And layer that on there nice and centrally, like that. And then we're going to assemble our glitter loops. We're going to place some glue on the 2 tab ends. And bring those into the centre. And then we can layer this on top of the ribbon. And now these 2 tails, we're going to cross them over, leaving around a centimetre gap on either side. So I'm making sure that they're crossing over in the middle and that the gap is the same on either side. And then grabbing my hot glue gun, I'm just going to pop some glue in the middle where they're folded over or crossed over, just to keep them together. And then I'm going to place some glue along the middle and layer our bow onto the tails. I love how the orange just breaks up the black and the white in the ribbon. Next I've got these are actually the last two pieces of this ribbon I've got, and I had just enough to cut a 11cm piece which wraps my 45mm clip, and then another 8cm piece to wrap the centre. I have heat sealed the ends already. Just sticking this now on the underside of my bow, and then using this last little piece to wrap the centre. So I'm just gluing it under the clip first, central to the hair bow, and then I'm going to bring that all the way around the centre. It's a little bit too long, so I'm just going to trim off the excess, heat seal the raw edge, and then just glue that last end down under the clip. So this is what we've got now, and the final thing to do now is to add our sugar skull clay. To attach clays, I like to use a mix of hot glue and Gorilla Super Glue gel. Taking a little piece of scrap felt and hot glue, I'm going to hot glue this to the underside of my clay first. I'm just checking to see where I want her, so around the bottom half of her head to her waist. So I'm going to stick the felt around that area, and then taking my Gorilla Super Glue gel. I have given this a shake already. Again, I just want to see where it touches the bow, so her hair and her arm, sort of that area. And I'm going to place the Gorilla Super Glue gel around these edges. And then taking my hot glue, place the hot glue in the middle on the felt, and then I'm going to lay her on my bow. I'm not going to push down too hard, so I don't want to flatten my bow. And just hold her there for a minute or two to let the glue take. And there is the finished hair bow, and that is the other one that I made earlier with the witch on. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you press the bell button, that will turn on notifications. Thank you for watching, everyone. Bye.